Hey, what up guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here today, and I'm back with another video. Now today's video I want to talk about Demon Slayer and the greatness of Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer, it came out a couple of years ago, and I have been watching it, but I stopped watching it after the Mugen Train movie because at that time I was really a big fan of the series. I thought it was very fun and entertaining. I'm not going to be one of those people that thought it was amazing and it was like this phenomenal new anime, but I did really like it. I thought it was enjoyable. For me personally, I don't need an anime to be phenomenal or out of this world for me to like it. I mean, hell, I love Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball is a very simplistic story. I do think it's a little bit more in-depth than a lot of people say it is, but it isn't the most in-depth, piece of writing, out there. It's just a fun and enjoyable anime, and that's one of the things I liked about Demon Slayer. It had great animation, great, art style. The fights were pretty cool. They had nice characters. And the story, though it isn't, anything too special, it was still pretty decently well done and well made. And I kind of stopped, watching, the franchise after the movie because at that point my interest and my love for the franchise was at an ultimate peak. And usually I read manga once in a while, but I prefer to watch a series fully before I read the manga, because whenever I read the manga, it spoils the series for me and I get more entertainment from the series itself than I do through the manga. So usually, unless if it's like an anime series which I really love and I want to get ahead on it, then I'll definitely read the manga instead of just, watching the anime, or if the anime messed up and I felt like, they didn't do too well, I want to see how they did originally in the manga, I'll check it out. But for Demon Slayer, I was just too hooked onto it. I was too hyped for it. I loved it too much, especially after the Mugen Train movie. And, I was dying to see how the story goes on and moves on. And, I got to read the manga. And as time passed, when I was reading the manga, I was really enjoying it until I was coming across, some of the characters dying. Obviously, we already had Rengoku die. Then we had Tengen lose his arm and his eye, and he basically quit being Hashira. He didn't die, but he got hurt. And then I was just thinking in my head, are all the characters going to die? And then I kind of, I was impatient, so I looked ahead and I found out that apparently the rest of the Hashira pretty much almost all die except for 2. And I know that might be some spoilers for some of you guys, so sorry if you guys don't know that, but when I saw that part, I was basically, it turned me off on the series, because personally I don't mind characters dying, even main characters. I think that's okay, but I do have a problem when they kill off too many of them, especially the ones you like. Like, you can kill off some, but when you kill off like majority of them, then it kind of pisses me off. It's like when you write characters and you want deaths, you want, the story to be important and you want there to be tension, but you don't have to kill off literally every character. That just ruins it. And that it killed my mood. So I quit on, Demon Slayer as a whole. I didn't see it. Also, like, the other season that came out, the second season, was literally just redoing the movie all over again, which I thought that was stupid. I know Dragon Ball already started this trend with, Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F, and then redoing them in, Dragon Ball Super, but, I just didn't care about it in this one, and I felt like they were wasting too many episodes solely on the movie, which I just recently watched, and I felt like it was pointless. So I didn't really care about it. But, I was going through YouTube shorts and I was seeing a lot of shorts about Demon Slayer, about the different Hashira, their, breathing styles, stuff about Muzan Kibutsuji, the other, upper rank moon demons. And it was piqued my interest back again. And though I did have more of the negative perception on, where the story led with most of the characters dying, I was like, screw it, let me just check it out again. So I went to the season. It had, they're on they say the 3rd season, but this is technically more like, more what it would be considered the 4th season. It says the 3rd one because the other one was basically just recapping the movie all over again. So I went to that one, I skipped the other one, and it opened up with the last parts of the Mugen Train where, Rengoku is fighting against Akaza. Akaza pierces through his chest with his hand, ends up killing him, and then runs away when Tanjiro starts yelling at him and throws his sword into him. And, from the moment I started the episode was like 43 minutes, which I thought was pretty crazy. Yes, there's animes that have done it, but it's usually just the first episode, then after that they haven't done it. But they did that, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna recap the last parts, but it was just a little bit, and it was fine. And I was actually even okay with it, because when I started seeing it, the animation looked beautiful. It literally looked like I was watching the fucking movie. And it's just weird to me to watch a show, and see the animation being on par with the movie. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, the one thing that, you know, Demon Slayer is very well known is for the animation. Yes, I agree with that, but I just didn't know to what extent, because I stopped watching it, and I kind of forgot, like, how mesmerizing it was in the first season. But, you know, rewatching in the second season, the first few minutes, it opened up with Rengoku and Akaza going back and forth, and that sequence was beautiful. It just blew my mind, and it got me hooked on it instantly. So we had that, then we had Tanjiro going to, Rengoku's dad's like home and stuff, and telling his brother and his dad that he's dead, and then that got me emotional, because I was like, damn, it's sad that he has to tell the guy's father and his little brother that looks up to him, and then his father talking shit about him. But we obviously know that it's just because he can't accept the fact that his own son died, and he'd rather be harsh to him than, you know, forgiving, because it hurts him more that way. Also, the fact that he never wanted Rengoku to be a Hashira, because he knew how dangerous it was, and now that he was dead, he felt like, you know, he wants to tell him, you're an idiot for doing that, but in reality, that's not the problem. The problem is that he just misses his son and wishes his son didn't have to put his life on the line and die for that. But after seeing that, then I saw the whole season 2. I finished that. I fucking love that. You know, Tengu, I'm pretty sure that's what his name is. But the Sound Hashira, the ninja guy, with Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro, when they went down to the, I think it was, I forgot what district they called it. I think it was the art district. When they went down there, the fights in that one was amazing. Everything was crazy. And I just got onto season 3 with, you know, the second episode of season 3 where Tanjiro is training against the Yoruichi, I think it was like a puppet clone thing. Not a puppet clone, but a puppet toy thingy. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, the first episodes are 43 minutes long, which is amazing. I really love to see longer, you know, episodes. And then also the animation. I know some people might complain about the 3D CGI in the third season, the opening of it, but I really loved it. I love seeing Akaza jump down inside, you know, the hideout or headquarters of Muzan's, and just seeing the 3D CGI animation moving around. It looks so beautiful, it looks so fluid. And then seeing, you know, Muzan losing his shit, destroying the table where he had the beakers and the testing tubes and stuff, and you just see it, it looks like a real life 3D model. It was beautiful. So yeah, I'm just back onto the Demon Slayer train. I love it. I know it's not this unbelievable story, but I don't think we really need that. Personally, I think as long as there's something that catches people's attention, like fun characters, good animation, good fights, I don't think it needs to have some really, like, you know, thought-provoking or innovative, you know, writing. Because like I said, I love Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball's not very innovative or that thought-provoking, but it's still fun and lovable, and most people love it because of just how cool it is and how great it is. So yeah, I'm really loving this. It's really great, and I'm just making this video because I just want to, you know, let out my love and appreciation for this series and me coming back to it. But not only that, I also want to say this because since I'm getting back into it, if you guys want me to make videos on, you know, Demon Slayer or any topics about it, I'm not as well versed as many of the other people that have made videos on it, but I'm rewatching it and I've read decent part of the manga, so I do know quite a bit of, you know, this franchise, so I can reveal some information and want to talk about some topics because I do think it's cool. And like I said, I want to talk more about other animes. It's just that I don't know what to specifically talk about those. Because since I've been in the Dragon Ball community specifically, I know specifically that there's countless topics that we talk about all the time, whereas other ones we don't talk too much about. Maybe with the new Baki season coming out from Netflix with the whole Pickle arc, I could probably make one talking about that, because that whole franchise is about fighting and seeing different characters fight, so I like to talk about those characters too. But yeah, I know this video is just wild. It was just me talking about stuff that I like, but I just think this is a great season. I think this is a great show. It doesn't have to be phenomenal, but it's just so much fun, and the animation, I don't know what they're doing there in that studio, but they're fucking killing it. I mean, it looks like a movie. Each episode looks like a goddamn movie. It looks so beautiful. Why? Why? It makes me kind of sad as a Dragon Ball fan because yes, Dragon Ball did have some, like Dragon Ball Super did have some crazy like episodes, especially like the Tournament of Power where they look good, but majority of Dragon Ball Super looked like trash. It didn't look that good. I just wish it had Demon Slayer's like level of, you know, animation and stuff. But then again, it's a little different than Demon Slayer's. Whereas Demon Slayer is a seasonal anime where they take seasons and they wait for a year or more than a year to, you know, develop on it. They have more time to make it better. Whereas Dragon Ball was a weekly anime. Personally, I think of Dragon Ball Super does come back. I want to know what your guys' thoughts on it. Do you want it to be like weekly like it was prior, or do you want to be seasonal like you know, Demon Slayer? Because I feel like if they do it seasonally, they could make the animation look a lot better and the art style. It might not look, you know, as good as Demon Slayer, but I think as long as it looks decently well from like what we've seen from the movies, I think it will be really good. So personally, I prefer at this point, even though I'm more impatient, I'd rather see each week what happens. I'd rather take some time off and be a little bit more patient and get some phenomenal art styles and, you know, animation as a whole than just having it come out quick and just looking like shit. So yeah, I just really love Demon Slayer right now. And, you know, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's mid, it's this and that. I don't care. It's fun. At the end of the day, something to be fun and entertaining and to catch people's attention. It doesn't need to be, you know, very thought-provoking. It doesn't need to be very intelligent. That is just for people who want to look more artistic and whatever. And it's fine to like, you know, more intelligent things. That's cool. But for me personally, I think that it's also fine to like things that are simply just fun. Stuff that just has cool fighting in it. Because like, there's a lot of people that like watching movies with, like, you know, introspective thoughts and talking about, like, deep and personal stuff like, oh, society and, you know, humanity and whatever and psychology and all this shit. And that's fun. But, you know, I prefer movies that are just purely about fun and stuff. I love action movies. I love martial arts movies. And for me personally, seeing anime that are fun like that just reminds me of that, but in a more high quality and an animated version. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for next time.